So you're gonna let me pop that
No,
pimple?
we're not.
Come on,
We're
we're
not
just
doing
gonna.
that. There's a special channel for this dedicated. That's the Go Fast Pimple Popping channel. We don't do it on the Go Fast.
That'd be kind of cool. It'd be kind of interesting for the viewers to
I don't
see.
know if that's exactly what our live viewers that are watching us now.
Pimple
for
juice just hit me in the face or
12
something.
volt content they're on here for. Buddy.
Well, it's pimple popping 12 volt
jeez.
now. Juice. What's up, boys and girls?
Man, we could go on a side tangent, but I tell you.
There's a lot of interesting things that happen here at Go Fast.
Right before the live, right after, man, I'll tell you.
Oh yeah, dude. So guys, thank you for tuning in. Jonathan Mercado.
Ben Rudnick.
As always, we're here for the wonderful Wednesday Facebook Live. Thank you for joining us. What are we gonna call today?
Man, we are totally caught off on this one. But I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna say it's gonna be Polarizado de Cristales Wednesday.
So
I don't know how bad that pronunciation was, but I'm guessing it was pretty bad.
Polarizado
I'm
de
sure
Cristales.
I'm sure I'll hear about it.
De cristales, cristales. Anyway, so obviously you guys see what we're dealing with. We've got a nice Spanish, banner in the background. So the vendor of the week this week is Gard, but we're gonna talk about them a little bit later on this episode. First, we want to talk about Knowledge Fest is coming around the corner, guys. The one in Atlantic City. If you guys haven't been to a Knowledge Fest, remember I keep preaching this. Ben preaches it. All our sales guys preaches it. Knowledge is power, guys. So make sure you go to this event. Make sure you go to these types of events because you know what? This is a day of learning for you guys to get familiar with what's hot, what's coming out, and also talk to the vendors and manufacturers, just like our expo, our yearly expo that, we bring in hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. We would like to see hundreds and hundreds of people down there at Knowledge Fest. It's coming up on June 7th through the 9th. So mark your calendars. It is a weekend. We're Go Fast and Davis, right?
Yep, Davis
are going
Distributing.
to be hosting a pretty large, what do I want to call
Hey,
it?
some would say the largest 12-volt electronics party of the year is going on at K-Fest in Atlantic City. And the one thing I want to say about this K-Fest in particular, a lot of you guys are K-Fest attendees. So we do have a lot of guys that are from this little tiny postage stamp up in the northeast corner of the United States that go and travel all around, whether it's Las Vegas, where Jonathan and part of the team were recently, whether it was Orlando, which this year being replaced, but whether it's all around the country, people are going. They're bringing it to our backyard finally, guys. So that's the big thing about this. It's in Atlantic City. Now, you're probably still going to want to get a hotel because it's a multiple-day event, but it's something you guys can drive to. If you could only stay maybe for 1 or 2 days, or you just want to get a little taste of it, it's within striking distance.
Yep.
So you could make a nice long weekend out of this with the family, or this could just be something that you go down and really rifle approach, go in, get the info you need, and get out. But it's a huge opportunity because it is finally in our backyard, Atlantic City.
And it's a lot of trainings going on at that day, guys. It's literally getting you guys involved and trained with the latest and greatest. A ton of vendors are there. Yours truly is going to have a pretty large booth at the K-Fest in Atlantic City, 20 by 50. So we have the largest footprint in in K-Fest. So come check it out. If you're coming to Knowledge Fest, how's about leave a comment below? Say, hey, I'm coming down there. We'd love to see you guys. Set up an appointment or something, and we'll get you squared away.
Yeah, and we're pumping this one up nice and early, guys. Obviously, it's June. We're almost in March already, end of February. So we still got a little bit of time before this happens. But I can tell you already, people are starting to book accommodations. So this is going to draw a lot of people. There will be limited, hotels are going to be right in the area. So if you want your choice, go ahead and book it. Put it on the calendar now. And then once you do, let us know, because we talked about that party at the Hard Rock, which again, Go Fast does it big. This thing is going to be a nice party to attend, I'm sure. A nice way to kick off a great weekend. But it's going to be invite only. So we need to know you guys are going to be there. We don't want to just have all the riffraff coming in there. Actually, we do have a lot of riffraff that are during the business hours. You guys are pretty professional, but I've seen some of you guys after hours.
Yeah.
So maybe, but it's going to be a really, really good party. But we want to make sure that we get all of our Go Fast people in there. So if you are going to go, make sure you let us know and start thinking about it now, because it is going to get here
very quickly.
It always does. Always does.
So guys, I just want to do a couple of other house cleaning stuff. Kenwood promotion is going on right now. with deep discounts on most of their CarPlay Android Auto head units. The same with JVC has deep discounts on their head units, CarPlay Android Auto units, both wired and wireless CarPlay. So give your sales rep a call. On top of that, they also have their tablet size radios, their 10.1 inches, on sale also. So give us a call so we can give you a deal on those. Another thing we want to talk about is Alpine promotions. Maybe you want to take over.
I was going to
this
say,
one.
we got a couple really cool ones going on right now. So Alpine is going to be doing two things. I'm going to kind of tease, and maybe I'm going to step, outside of the boundaries here, like we do every once in a while. We go a little rogue here on the live, for the live viewers, for the people that actually are taking the time out of their day to listen to us. But the first promo we have going on, which we talked about in the previous weeks, is Alpine bundle deal. There's 5 bundles to choose from. It's I believe around 20% off when you bundle everything together. But this is going to be more encompassing. So it's going to be specific models, specific units. You're going to have to get in touch with your Go Fast sales rep to find out what each ones of those are. But again, great opportunity. A lot of stuff with loaded enclosures. Very, very popular units with Alpine. Great opportunity to get these on our delivery van. And then starting next month, now this is like, again, maybe I shouldn't even be saying it, but I already teased, so now I got to. We're going to be getting in on a little Baker's Dozen sale, I believe, with Alpine as well. So if you are looking to get in and load up on some Alpine speakers, subs, or enclosures, why don't you go ahead and give us a call today or tomorrow. Well, I'm going to go out and throw that out there for our viewers here. We're going to throw it out there. But officially, I believe this one's going to kick off next month.
I didn't get the green light, but Ben's giving me the green light.
I'm
so
going
I
crazy
guess.
today. I'm trying to go crazy today.
So for a lot of you guys that don't know what a Baker's Dozen is, here, let me explain to you. Ready for this? You buy 12 donuts, the baker usually gets 1 donut for free.
Got to try it out.
So 12 donuts, you get 1 for free. So that includes buy 12 in-stock SKUs, get the 13 free, which includes speakers, subwoofers, and enclosures.
Yeah, and I do want to point out, though, there will be some exclusions that apply. There will be some special rules. You will have to get with your Go Fast sales rep on this. Again, this is the unofficial announcement here. We're giving you a little tease. But again, it does encompass all those categories, which is great. This is a great time for it, getting ramped up. It was 50 degrees out. You know what that means. People are going to start pulling the cars out, the show cars.
I don't think it's stopped, Ben. Literally, we've done starters and a lot of audio.
The whole time.
So a lot of guys are calling in for both the starters and the car audio, segment of our business. On top of that, a lot of the performance stuff. We're starting to build kind of a big book of business when it comes to the performance side of the stuff. Like amp research, side steps, E3 spark plugs, little trees. You know what I mean? Some people make fun of the little trees, but I'll tell you what, a smart business person looks at it as an add-on attachment because everybody else is buying them. You bring in cars into your bays, you quote out jobs, and guess what it has on the rearview mirror? A little tree. So why not get the opportunity to sell it and make money yourself instead of Walmart, instead of Best Buy, wherever else they sell little trees.
If it makes dollars, it makes sense. And
I know me though.
And this makes money. No returns. You don't have to worry about somebody coming back and having to troubleshoot why their little trees isn't working. It's a sell it, you forget it, you collect the money, and then you wait for people to come back and then rebuy. So huge opportunities.
And on top of that, we have displays for these. You know what I mean? This is kind of a display with I think it's 25 pack of little trees in this box. So you could just rip the top off and boom, display it on your showroom floor. Guys, the name of this game is thinking outside the box and really trying to make more money. If you guys aren't thinking outside the box, unfortunately, somebody else is going to think for you. And it's going to be a competitor who has listened, who has actually stepped into some of these Facebook Live videos and picked up some information. So, it's always thinking about what else you can do new out there to make more money. Because in reality, when times are slow, times are, you're over here wondering what's going to come in through my door to sell them. Be a one-stop shop, guys. Really, be a one-stop shop. You got the amp research. You got auto meter now. I know 100% of you guys are capable of installing auto meters. You guys get cars at the shops that are performance vehicles. You know what I mean? That you can sell them a gauge and install a gauge and, put a cluster in because you're in 12 volt. What does auto meter use? 12 volt. Guess what, guys? It's kind of a no-brainer for you guys. So we have a lot of things going on. Like I said, I brought these out so you can see that they come in blister packs. You can order them as blister packs, singles, 3-pack, 6-pack. The display, we have a nice plastic display with 144 pieces on it at a very aggressive price, so you can make more money doing that way. Next thing I want to talk about is the Sony Love at First Beat contest. So that is going on right now from February 1st to February 29th. Guys,
wait a minute. That means we are running dangerously low on time. We got today, tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, I keep forgetting it's a leap year this year.
Yeah, we got very little time left on this one, but this is a promo that has been extremely hot and has picked up a lot of steam as we've been going farther into it.
Yeah.
So we talked about Baker's Dozen. We just love that concept of Baker's Dozen here. I like that lately too.
I do too.
So you go out and if you buy a dozen GS speakers or subwoofers, you go ahead and you get one free. And that's a great value because that's something that can go on your board. It can go in a demo car. You can always put it in stock, cost average your inventory down as well. But again, that's what that baker does. The baker likes to taste that one and make sure that the batch was good. Put one of those on your on display so that you can hear the speakers for yourself. You can fall in love with them and help your customers fall in love with them and make that sale a lot easier. Because when you look at the profit margins on these speakers, it is astronomical.
Over 60%.
You are going to want to make sure that this is a highlighted piece on your board, and you're going to want to make sure people are listening to them and you're installing these because it's going to help keep the lights on. Again, even in times where you got high inflation, all that other kind of thing, it's a great way to make that extra money and, cover that $25 McDonald's or however much it costs, $50 now. If the $50 fast food, if you try to buy lunch for the guys or whatever, it used to cost you $10. Now it's like $60.
Now it's like 100.
Well, you're tacking on things like higher margin pieces like the Sony GS line, or you're adding things into your mix like Little Trees is going to help be an inflation buster.
So not only that, we're going to sweeten up the pot. So for every GS speaker, Baker's Dozen, or for every single one you buy, you get one entry into the Blaupunk e-bike giveaway. That we're going to announce on March 6th. So next Facebook Live, somebody's going to win that bike. So you got today and tomorrow. Now, let's sweeten it up a little bit better. Sony 8500, the new 10.1-inch touchscreen, Maestro compatible, wireless CarPlay Android Auto. That screen actually shifts side to side, up and down. There is too many bells and whistles to list on this radio. Let's sweeten this pot up. For every AX 8500 you purchase from today, tomorrow, we'll throw in 10 extra entries. So guys, think about that. You buy one to show, one to go. We also have a promo going on with that right now. One to show, one to go, or just one, you get 10 entries for just one. Buy two, 20 entries for the both of them. And that gives you now an opportunity to win a $1,600 Blaupunk e-bike. And this is only good for today and tomorrow.
Yeah, great way to boost your chances. Now, you do have to buy GSP. This is still a GS speaker promo, so you do have to include a GS speaker purchase with that 8500, which you should be doing anyways. But if you do that, you gain in the extra entries into that contest. And like Jonathan said, this is a great giveaway. We've done promotions like this with other vendors before that have been very, very successful. It's a huge, tremendous opportunity to get a Blaupunk e-bike on your floors so that you guys can start selling them. Now, you could sell that one if you want to. Hey, technically, you could take it home. You can give it to the kids or the wife or whatever. But I think you should keep that thing on your sales floor, sell off of it. It's you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day, you teach a man to fish, you feed him forever. Well, you keep that Blaupunk e-bike on your sales floor. That thing is just going to keep creating sales and creating sales. And we've got them in stock right back here. So you leave that baby on your showroom floor, we'll get you another one for your customer, and you start raking in that money. And one other thing I want to mention with the Blaupunk e-bikes, and we have talked about this in the past, but there are a lot of government incentives for your customers as well. So this is a $1,600 e-bike, but your customers can go ahead and get rebated back by your local government if they qualify. There are some qualifications that have to be in there, but we've got all that information for you as well. This makes selling these e-bikes even easier, makes them considerably more affordable, but you guys still make all the profits. This isn't coming out of your pocket, guys. This is coming from the state, federal, local governments. So huge opportunity to provide a great service, a great product, and make a little money at the same time.
But wait, there's more. So, if anybody's been following what's going on in New York has now banned any other e-bike sales. There's only 2 bikes that they're allowing to be sold in New York, and Massachusetts is in the same process right now. One of the certified bikes that is approved to be sold in New York and hopefully soon in Massachusetts is the Blaupunk e-bike. So if you're one of the lucky people to actually have a retail store and actually think outside the box, these Blaupunk e-bikes are going to be super hot. They are certified by the state of New York to be sold, just because of the quality build, the battery, how it performs, just the overall bike, how it folds. There's no pitch welds. If you're a smart guy or woman and you want an e-bike, you'd be buying a quality bike instead of all these $600, $700, $800 bikes that you see out there that only get you like 5 miles till empty or break on you. Cheap gears, cheap brakes, cheap lighting. I mean, there's a lot of issues with them. There's a reason why they're $599, $699, guys. Quality. We were just having a conversation this morning. Cheap is not good, and good work is not cheap. So think about that saying. If something is cheap, do you think it's going to be good in the long run? No. Now, if you're doing good, it's not going to be cheap, because the quality to build that and to put it together costs way more than all your other cheaper stuff that's out there, but it will by far outlast it. So the point of that is guys, shout out to Sony. Thank you for doing the Love at First Beat contest. It is ending tomorrow, guys. So make sure you get your Sony GS purchases in today, tomorrow. Maybe even add an 8500 to bump up those those entries. But thank you very much, Sony. Next thing we want to talk about is our brand of the week. So obviously, you guys see them, you guys know them. If you're a tinner, you have dealt with Solar Gard, you've dealt with the company. They've been around for quite some time. They have a ton of film at different levels, from your entry level all the way up to like the best of the best film, the Zenith and the Vortex film when it comes to ceramic. Anybody that has used those 2 films at the top, let me tell you, has just praised how great they are. There's been a lot of shops that were using inferior, cheaper material and have switched over to these and have, said that how big of a difference it is to use a quality film. Solar Guard's been at this for a long time. John Nicholas, the rep, he is awesome. He helps us out whenever we need any technical help. He even, Solar Guard even does architectural film. So
I actually took a call on Solar Guard architectural film this morning. Funny you mentioned that.
So architectural film, if a lot of you guys are not familiar with it, you can't just take a car window film and slap it on a business window that's a double pane. And I'm going to tell you why. Heat. What happens is that heat that's with the automotive film gets trapped between the glass. That glass is filled with gas. So what happens after you heat up a gas? It blows up. So, for not using the proper film, you can cost yourself $5,000, $6,000 plus dollars in repairing that one window, because a lot of these businesses have custom made windows where it's very unique glass. It's hard to find glass, and those glasses are older than I could think of. Some buildings are 200 plus years old.
Yeah, you don't want to mess around with that. And realistically, Solar Guard across the board does a great job. And that's why they have so many different options out there for you, is to make sure that you have the right film for your customer, for the application that you're using, and that you can go ahead and you can make out different offerings as well. The one nice thing is, you can't go too low in their line. Usually you like to say, we like to sell off of this. You don't really want to push this line. But everything in the Solar Guard lineup is a tremendous film. But as you step up, you will get some different features out of it, some different benefits that you can pitch to your customers. So you can feel comfortable, you can feel safe, even at the entry-level price points. And we've talked about this, especially with film in the past.
Oh, yeah.
With other brands, and other stuff that's out there, you can go too low. You go too low, you maybe get a price that sounds really good to you, but you get film that doesn't last. It bubbles up. It fades. You get customers coming back that are angry. You're now duplicating your work. You got to take it off, put it back on.
I was just gonna say, you know, other brands you could get a lot cheaper stuff. They're absolutely, you're correct. You can get cheaper stuff out there. But like Ben said, have you seen the amount of vehicles out there in the road that have bubbles in the back windows, or the tint is faded in a matter of months? Guys, when you buy inferior film, that's the stuff you get. The adhesive is not great. The dye or the carbon that it's using, it's not great. It's really meant to just slap on. Here's $120 in my hand. Have a nice day. I'll taillight warranty. You know, it is what it is. With Solar Guard, you're not gonna get that. You get quality film that they back it up. You know what I mean? Their film has really, I haven't gotten any warranty calls on Solar Guard.
I mean, we do have warranty sheets, so you can fill these out, give these to your customers, show the confidence that you have in the film. So these are available. I think that's a big thing. I know Barry gave me a pack of these before the live, so these are available with us. But that's the point, is that Solar Guard is making a quality product that you could stand behind and that your customers will be happy with. Because again, and these aren't true numbers, guys, obviously, but we don't really talk numbers on here. But if you spend it, if it costs you $1 for a good, for film, for a good installation, and it costs you 50 cents for some kind of beat up film, you might think, well, I'm going to double my money. I'm going to go ahead and, you know, man, I'm going to really rake it in this year. But you have to factor in that 50 cents that you're spending, you're probably gonna have to do it again. What's 50 cents times $2? Now you're basically back at sea level what you would have spent with Solar Guard, except you put the inferior film on again. They come back a third time. Now that inexpensive film that was gonna save you some money and make you some more money this year actually cost you more money. Not only did it cost you the film, but it cost you either your own time and labor, or it cost one of your installers time and labor to rip the film off and put it back on. So you went from this great idea, you were already putting that down payment on the Ferrari, and next thing you know, you're actually less profitable than you were the previous year, and it's all because you weren't using the right film. Do not make that mistake. So
let's forget about what Ben said about the cost, all right? Forget about that right now. Let's talk about reviews, all right? Forget about the cost. If you're saving 50 cents and you want to do it 100 times over and lose money, that's your problem. Let me tell you what's even bigger problem. So everybody's got this thing, it's called a cell phone. You know what I mean? I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. It's literally, you know, I have a saying what cell phones are used for men, but we'll talk about that off the live. But regardless, when you go to a shop, all right, me for instance, if I've been to a shop, they did phenomenal work. Guess what? I'm gonna wait it out. I'm gonna wait a week just in case anything happens. After that week, I'm gonna give that shop a review, and usually it's a pretty good review. When Johnny gives a review, it's a good review, and I go into detail. Now, here's where you gotta think. That inferior film you used, that you saved 50 cents on, that you did 3, 4, 5, 6 times over, that now you've lost money, A. B, do you really think a customer wants to keep going back and forth to your shop to have their windows redone because you used inferior film and it was just not great? No. So you know where they're going to take on to? Google, Yahoo, what's the other one? Yelp.
They're going to go on everywhere online.
Facebook, and bash you because you used stuff that they weren't satisfied with at the overall end of the sale. B, they had to come back several times. And C, it just wasn't good quality stuff. It wasn't good looking stuff. I don't know about you guys, but when I see a car and I see a blue film in the front and the factory in the back is brown, it irks me. It really does. If you're not using color matching film or good quality film that's not going to give you that haze or that overlook between the two, you're doing a disservice for you. You're really looking for a bad review. And let me tell you, these days, one bad review can actually turn away hundreds of customers. Why? Because like me, and I know Ben doesn't, and all you guys watching this, you guys don't even go for the good reviews. Who cares if the customer has...
Sort by worst review.
Exactly. That's exactly what I do. Sort by worst review. And I read those, and I see the response that a lot of shops and shop owners give at those response, and that's when I make my overall decision. And that's when I usually say, if the shop owner handled it correctly and, you know, didn't bash the customer on that negative review, you know, say, hey, I'll make it up for you, come on down, whatever the case he says, but gives a good taste, he could win my business. Now, if it's the type of review where, like, this guys were smoking, you know, in my car, or, you know, they were hanging out drinking beer at the shop.
Got some other problems.
Yeah, didn't really pay attention to me, and just, you can tell while he's doing my tint, he's drinking a beer or whatever. The point is, guys, that, you know, your reputation will bring you more business. If you care about your business, show you care about your business, because at the end of the day, it's your guys' pockets, it's your guys' money, it's not ours. We're just here to supply you with a quality, you know, product. And let me tell you, Solar Guard is absolutely quality product.
Yeah, and the other thing I want to say about the reviews, guys, is that in a lot of cases, your customers are reviewing the film that you use. Unfortunately, in those cases, when the negative reviews happens a lot of times, we have a lot of tremendously talented tinters that are part of the Go Fast family, extended Go Fast family. So a lot of times in these situations, you guys took care of the customer. You did a tremendous install. You did protect their car. You gave it back to them nice and clean. You did everything right.
But use the crap film.
And guess what? You get rewarded with a bad review. So they're not going to mention in that review that you guys took care of them, that you price matched, or you did whatever you need to do. They're not going to mention that kind of stuff, guys. They're only going to mention the film. So you don't want to have that be your weak spot. Again, now let's flip-flop that, like Jonathan was saying. Now you use a good film, and you did the process that you always do. You took care of your customers. You made sure you were priced right. You made sure you took care of their vehicle. You made sure they were happy before they left. Now they're thrilled. It was this, you did the exact same thing. The only variable in that equation was the type of film that you used. So it is imperative to partner up with a quality brand. And again, we're just going to keep going that route. But Solar Guard is one of the best films that you're going to find on the market. So again, avoid that scenario. That's probably one of the biggest detractors from a lot of the shops out there. Again, it's the bad reviews due to using poor product, not necessarily the application of the product.
Yeah, guys, it's to me, it's close to home when, you know, you got brand A and brand B, and you've been using brand A for a long time, but brand B, if brought to your attention, you give it a try, and you're like, wow, this is really good stuff. You know, really look at that brand B, because brand A is just a dinosaur. Their technology's the same. They're not keeping up with the times. You know, Solar Guard's kept with the times. They've changed drastically on how they produce their films. And, you know, every dealer that we sell Solar Guard to has nothing but great, you know, comments to make. So there's a reason why they're using it. You know, it's not going to be the cheapest on the market. They don't want to be the cheapest on the market. They want to give you quality. There's a difference, like, once again, cheap is not good and good is not cheap. So just remember that saying. Keep that in the back of your head when you're looking at your next purchase and you're going, well, I'm buying this roll for $100. How good do you really think that $100 roll is? Let's be real. I can tell you it's not good at all. But, you know, if you want to get more information about differences between films, you know, dyed film versus carbon film, you know, ceramic versus non-ceramic, give your sales rep a call. We're more than happy to help you out and try to educate you at some type of way, form with this stuff, just because it does make a difference in your business.
Yeah, and I think we've been talking a lot to guys that are already doing tinting, which, again, that's where a majority of our sales go. We love the tint shops out there. But the other thing is that this is a category that all of our shops can get into as well. So if this is something that you're interested in, Solar Guard is a great brand to help support you, bring on a new category. They can get you set up with things like plotters in software if you are interested in that. We have a whole slew of different tint supplies in-house. And we've got guys on staff. I'm trying to get to where this guy's at, but I'm going to shout out Mike Cava. He has helped out tremendously, I think, with everybody on the sales team. But I know I've relied on him a lot in the past. But we've got people on the sales team that could help get you into this. So if you're not very familiar, you want to dedicate somebody on your team to try to bring in a new revenue stream, or you yourself want to try to gain a new skill set, we can help get you all the stuff that you need to hit the ground running. And SolarGuard also has helped us out with trainings in the past. So if that's something that you're interested in, make sure you let us know, and we can let you know when those will be coming around.
And not only that, guys, we actually have connections with a couple of tint schools. So if you want to get involved and learn how to tint, it's not your cup of tea, you've never really done it, we can give you phone numbers to a couple of tint schools that you can go get trained and get certified in doing this type of stuff. You know what I mean? This is like kind of your tint tool belt.
That thing might fall.
Yeah, no, it's not. I want to talk about the bulldozer. That's kind of a very important tool to have if you're in school. The squeegee cards, the triangle. You've got a lot of tint tools that, I or Mike Cava wouldn't use, but you guys use. And it's all in-house here at GoFast. So make sure you get a hold of your sales reps. We have all the tint stuff in stock. If you want to get into the business and you never really done it, get a hold of one of us. We got, like I said, we have a couple local tint schools here, one in Connecticut, one in Mass, one in Florida, that is willing to we'll be more than happy to help you get to the next level, guys. Because let me tell you, tint is one of the most profitable lines you can add to your business. It costs you, I can't really say on the live how much it costs you on the product you're going to use per vehicle. But if you look at the buffer of the product used versus how much you're selling it for, I can tell you it's probably 200 to 300% profit.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because one thing, and I wanted to definitely touch on this before we wrapped up, we've been mentioning, we keep saying SolarGuard, it's going to be a little bit more pricey. It's going to cost a little bit more maybe than something that you're currently using. It's not that it's the most expensive or they're gouging you. That's not the case. Again, like Jonathan said, you have to pay for quality, just like you do with any of the other categories that we carry. But here's the thing I really want to hammer in when we talk about that, and Jonathan started to allude to it. It's not a huge investment to start out with.
No.
The category itself, the dollar stretches extremely far. So it's not like some other categories where you really have to fight for every nickel and dime because it is so competitive. There is so much profit in this category. If you want to get started with tint, we can get you set up with film. We can get you set up with all of the components and all the tools that you're going to need. We can even get you training. And in a lot of cases, your investment is not even going to reach 4 figures. So again, this is something that is going to be a category that could be taken on by just about anybody out there. And again, while we will talk about quality and we will talk about price and having to spend a little bit more to get into something that's going to be great for you, it doesn't mean you have to spend a lot. You're just going to have to go and make sure that you're partnering up with the right brands. You're partnering up and you're getting the right tools. You get the right suppliers that are going to be there to support you. And man, I'll tell you, you add that on, I can guarantee you 2024 is going to be a better year than 2023.
Well, I'm going to throw a success story real quickly because this was actually recent. So a good friend of mine, got laid off from his day job. He was working at a retail store. Obviously everybody knows what's going on out there in the industry. He really was down and about. I told him about the local tint school that he went to for a week, got certified. This is going back 6 months ago, okay? He got certified. He learned how to tint. Let's fast forward to today. He sent me a text message yesterday saying 100 times, thank you for really helping me out and getting me to the next level. He owns a nice big retail store now that does tint. He's booked out weeks. He just sent me pictures. He did alone yesterday 6 cars, guys, of profit. That's all profit. He said, and not tooting my horn, but we here at GoFast want to help dealers to get to the next level. It's not about us. It's about you guys. If you guys are successful, we're successful, because obviously, you know, one hand washes the other. So the point of this conversation is, you know, send them to tint school, learn how to tint, use Solar Guard products, buys, not even kidding you, probably a week, anywhere from 10 to 15 rolls a week in film. That's how busy this guy is. So at that point, now we're having conversations of, well, with tint, what else can you add on to tint? Lighting, LED lighting. So we're going to add that on to his array of business, a book of business. But the point that I was making is, guys, you know, if it's something that you guys are looking at your books and it's empty, you're slow, think outside the box, get a hold of one of us. You know, this is a success story that literally hit home for me, because I know the guy personally. I felt bad when he called me saying that he was laid off from the retail store that he was at, but they were extremely slow. But he ended up starting his own business, successful business, and is booked out because he took a couple of minutes to just listen to what we have to say. It's not about, oh, I know it all or not. Guys, a good 90, in fact, I could say all of us, here at GoFast, we either owned the retail business, we worked at a very fast-paced retail store, we were shop managers, we've worked at a big box store. We kind of know and feel what you guys are dealing with out there. We've dealt with it. We know what we could, suggestions we could give you to grow your business. So with that being said,
yeah, I want to do one more thing. And again, Jonathan keeps bringing up some gems here that I want to make sure that we don't gloss over. But again, maybe not everybody, but let's admit it. It's a little bit of a slow time of the year. Any year, this is kind of a lame duck period. We're getting out of remote starter season, which again we talked about. I don't even know if there was a true remote starter season. It was like audio kind of kept going.
Yeah.
But you always run into this little bit of a lull period. And then there's years where years are down and business could be down. Or you could have things like technology changes that are out there. Again, we're seeing the emergence of EVs. Mm-hmm. That could affect your regular course of business. But I'll tell you what, it doesn't matter is with tint. As long as it's got windows, you could tint it. So it's a great thing to offer out to get in some of those vehicles into your doors that you maybe wouldn't have gotten otherwise.
Yep.
You can get that Tesla in to do the tinting on it. And while it's in there, maybe you're partnering up with an Alpine if you're approved, or a Rydeen, or the other companies that are coming out that are coming out with more direct fit products for these EVs. You could be the first in town to go ahead and actually get your hands on them, start to mess around with them. So it's a great barrier of entry, just like a detailing would be. You don't have to know too much about the vehicle in particular. All you have to be able to know is, does it have windows? Perfect. Come on down. We'll take care of it.
Yep.
So it opens up opportunities into different vehicle types, different customers that maybe you would never have touched on. Golf carts. Snowmobiles, jet skis, bless you. All of these things have windows. All of these things are targets for people that have tint under their umbrella. So if you're struggling to bring in some certain types of vehicles that you like to get into, think about things like these. Again, we're really going to pump up Solar Guard as they're our vendor of the week, and they have a tremendous product. They've been a tremendous supporter for years and years and years, so we're so thankful. But they're one of many different offerings out there that you guys can add into the mix that can help you get into those categories that really nobody is getting into yet.
And you made a good point. So I see a lot of shops, they work on a car, you know what I mean? I'm the type of guy that, if I gave you a clean car, I kind of want to see a clean car back. I don't want to see handprints all over. I don't want to see the inside completely trashed, because I've seen some of the shops that are doing some work and how they leave the cars. Guys, when you're doing film, you have to spray the windows, and it gets all over the door panels. It gets all over the outside of the car, the dashes, etc. It takes 30 seconds to wipe that car down. Literally, it does. Just and give it back to the customer. But what doesn't take 30 seconds is actually buying a bottle of interior cleaner. Literally. You buy a bottle of interior cleaner, you spray it on the door panel, you wipe it down, no more marks, no more streaks, no more nothing. I've seen some guys use some very harsh chemicals for window, for like instead of using Johnson & Johnson baby oil, baby shampoo or palm olive or etc. They're using these very harsh chemicals. I've seen it where it actually discolors the panels because they didn't wipe it off, they just kept it there, and you can see the panel has streaks down. It literally cost you dollars to get some detailing material to go, oh, let me wipe that off before it sits there too long. Spray it, wipe it, have a nice day. We sell all that. That's stuff that you got to think outside the box. If you,
over there, it's on the other side of the wall.
So, guys, I'm sorry to be long-winded, but I do see that a lot, especially with window tinting. It takes seconds to wipe the car down and give the car back clean to the customer. Because guess what? Like we said earlier, a positive review can help you out, but most people look at negative reviews because I'm one of them, Ben's one of them. I don't care if you have 10,000 positive reviews. If you've got recently 5 negative reviews, and I'm saying recently too, 5 negative reviews, that's what I'm looking at, because that's going to tell me how you are honestly handling the car and also your response on the whole situation. Some handle it really, really good. Some handle it very, very poorly. So the point is, always look out for your customer, because like we do, we look out for you guys to make sure you guys have the latest and greatest information. If you don't look out for your customer, that's going to result in a bad review. One bad review can lead into 100 different lost sales just for that one bad review. And if you don't believe what I'm saying, you talk to somebody who has done it. They've lost my business. There's been several places that have lost my business because of that one bad review. So with that being said, sorry for getting long-winded. Once again, sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think the moral of the story, pair up with brands that you trust, pair up with the Solar Guard, make sure you're treating your customers right, get those good reviews, get into the different categories, make that money, and then give us a call. We'll take care of you and getting you set up.
Guys, you need squeegees, tint, alpha knives, we got you. Get in the business. Try doing it at your shops. Learn how to make more money.
And that's it, man. We'll see you guys next week with that Sony Love at First Beat contest winner, so make sure you tune in. And we're going to go hit the phones. We'll go sell you some Solar Guard. Hey.